There's a lot of talk out there today that, especially the United States, is a country that's so divided into political views. And you see platforms like Twitter or Facebook, how there's other competing platforms that are being formed. And I'm making this video because I want to talk to you about conflict, and I want to talk to you about the protection that these businesses have in the form of network effect, like Twitter and Facebook. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mariusz Konieczny. I run Microcap Explosions, a website dedicated to microcap stocks which are ignored and underfollowed by the investment industry. I also wrote about 10 books on investing, one of which is available for a free download at microcapexplosions.com. Finally, I also created valueinvestinguniversity.com, which is a free resource to make you more intelligent investor. When it comes to businesses having moats, one of the moats that Warren Buffett described in his teachings is that some businesses benefit from what's called a network effect. And a network effect is a moat that makes business able to maintain profit margins or certain pricing. So when you look at a platform like Facebook or Twitter, as more people are using the platform, more other people want to use the platform, and then the platform becomes stronger and grows more and more and more. You might be on Twitter. Why are you on Twitter? Because so many other people that you want to follow are on Twitter, so you joined Twitter. Such network effect makes these companies keep the competitors away. So now let's talk about some of the competitors, because nowadays we have this negative talk about these technology platforms, that they take your free speech away, they act in a certain way, they demonetize certain accounts, and then as a result of this you have other competing platforms being formed. And an example is like Truth Social that Donald Trump launched because he was censored or kicked out of Twitter. Then you see other platforms like, for example, Getter. I'm not very political, and many of you know that. I don't really consider myself one way or the other. I do have a Getter account because when I post a video, I try to put a link on different sites as a way to diversify away from a single platform, just in case something happens to that platform. But what I noticed is that even though I might be on other platforms outside of YouTube or Twitter, nobody really cares about these other platforms. And this has a lot to do with the network effect. Okay, I'll post on Getter and I have like 8 followers. Nobody cares, okay? Because there's fewer members on that platform, so fewer members want to join. That's why it's so difficult for Truth Social or Getter or other conservative platforms to actually become a serious competitor to something like Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is, because of the network effect. But also another thing that I think not too many people talk about is conflict. You see, have you ever thought about a situation that as humans, we always have to have conflict? Like, we thrive on conflict. I remember when I was a kid in Poland or in Europe, the most popular sport is football, right? In the US, we call it soccer. And you have people that live in the same town, but they identify themselves with different clubs. And many times, like, there's conflict between people. They might stop you on the street and they'll be like, who do you cheer for? Looking for conflict. And if you say this club, they might give you a beating. If you say the club that they're from, they might give you a handshake. And this just kind of reminds me that, like, no matter where you are, you always have countries or cities dividing. They have to have these rivalries. They have to find something to argue about. And so when you talk about these platforms, like let's say Twitter, you see, it's not exciting to go for individuals, let's say for the individuals on the right, conservatives, to go on the platform that everybody agrees with them. Like, yeah, okay, I agree with you that vaccines don't work, COVID doesn't exist, and whatever other, other theories or beliefs that they have. Like, they're talking to the same people. It's not exciting for them. And then the same thing is on the other side. What's exciting for people is to go on these platforms and stir up trouble and conflict and fight with each other and all this. That's why they stay on Twitter. That's why they stay on Facebook, because of that. So in addition to these businesses and platforms to have these network effects that protect them and make them more and more powerful, then you have the natural tendencies of people to want to be in conflict and create controversy. I mean, how exciting it is to go and just have everybody like agree with you. It's not exciting, but it's how wonderful and exciting it is to be fighting with each other, to be calling each other's names and telling the other person that they're stupid, that they don't understand anything about anything. That's exciting. That's what makes people's brains, light up with energy. And you see, if people understood this, I'm not sure if they would have gotten so excited about Donald Trump's public vehicle, that the Truth Social, that social media, because apparently there's a lot of negativity around that the platform is not doing too well, that even Donald Trump is not getting enough followers on that platform compared to what he was getting on Twitter, and that the platform doesn't have enough revenues to justify the valuation. I mean, I would never get involved in owning a business like this because I know the nature of people wanting to be in conflict. And I know that it's very hard for these platforms to break in and truly become the competitors that people think they are. When Trump's public vehicle went public, everybody got so excited and the valuation reached levels that didn't make any sense when you compared the valuation to like Twitter, that was completely established. But people got so excited thinking that everybody was going to just leave and go to the other platform and made the other platform so successful just because it was sponsored by Donald Trump. And the world of business is more complicated, and the moats and network effects are true, and they really protect the businesses that are dominant to begin with. In summary, these are my thoughts on those kinds of businesses, network effects, and conflicts. Now it's your turn. Let me know what your thoughts are about what I said in this video.